This right here, this is dedicated to the Joe Budden podcast. How do I say goodbye to what we had, to the good times? Anyways, you folks out there listening, it's over. Rory and Maul, rest in peace, figuratively speaking. And I'm not talking about the end of their careers. The run was good and prosperous as it came to an end. I must say, y'all literally exploded verbally DEFCON 4 shit right before our eyes and ears without the bloodshed. I must admit, I was fucking duped. Hook, line, and sinker. I was for sure all the drama was mostly for shock and value, entertainment purposes. Niggas was just putting on the show. I thought majority of the shit was fake. Boy, was I fucking way off. Y'all niggas was serious. And you deserve a motherfucking Oscar. Lead actor Joe Budden. Supporting actors go to Maul and Rory. Thanks to y'all, every podcaster out there is busting nuts and coming all over their microphones. The entertainment business is exploding with orgasms. And y'all niggas did it. But anyways, breach of contract. Niggas is gone. Maul no longer has to look like he's sleeping on a Tempur-Pedic bed. Except for Parks, the obvious yes man, has survived. We all know why. But Parks, that nigga is doing what he needs to do to survive, which is rainbow nosing. I'm not a racist. I'm not going to keep it to one color, brown. I keep the nosing diverse. There are some people out there that gotta ride coattails, regardless of what they really think, their own fucking opinions. They rather ride the yes train and fake it all the way out. But it sucks because people, knowing what a yes fuck is, it makes it hard to listen to somebody talk and rant for 2 hours when you have somebody in the background agreeing to every single fucking thing a person rants about. It's annoying, especially when some things the rant is about sounds suspect or at least worth an argument or a debate. So I say this because I'm listening to Joe's latest podcast, the finale, the one he just pulled off the media, a quarter of the way in, forcing people to go to Patreon to hear the entire podcast. Obviously, you do your research or go to Reddit, you'll get the entire audio if they haven't pulled it down yet. So anyway, it's about 2 hours of Joe doing what he does best, ranting while at the same time confusing motherfuckers with his twisted choice of vocabulary words as if it's a normal diction for the average folk. Nothing wrong with that. Joe is an articulate nigga. He knows how to mind fuck you, skip the wash, and leave you hella confused. Still trying to dissect his first sentence while this nigga leave your ass behind, fucking somebody else, figuratively. But anyway, as Joe is going through this marathon of a rant, justifying all of his reasonings for doing what he did, the problem I had with that rant was his sidekicks was scared as fuck to intervene with a slight disagreement. Or say, hey Joe, you could have done that a little bit better. Or, that was kind of fucked up, Joe. But I do understand why you did what you did. It was just a little harsh, is what I'm saying. In my opinion. I would have kind of let them down a little lightly instead of on air. I'm sure Joe would have been happy to hear someone interject. That way, they would have given the nigga a break during his speeches. And Joe sounded like he knew that since Rory and Maul wasn't present, the floor was his. And if any one of y'all motherfuckers interject against my reasoning, your ass is on the chopping block. That's how Joe sounded. He was daring motherfuckers to add their 2 cents. It was either say something and agree with him or don't say shit at all. But Parks, man, I'm sure Joe wouldn't mind if you interjected every now and then. Trust me, it makes a guy with power respect you more. Being a yes man, that's all you're gonna be. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that you never, ever, ever interjected during a debate with Joe to where an interjection is common sense. I'm talking about in the midst of a convo, not a debate. Speak your motherfucking mind is all I'm saying. Because to be honest, you do sound like you don't give a fuck about Joe. You just saying yes to please that nigga. Not saying that's how it is, but that's how you sound. You don't sound like y'all road dogs. You sound like a robotic yes man. Don't know the lyrics to that song, but you know what I'm talking about. But Joe went off. That nigga put all his cards on the table and showed you his hand. You can tell Joe was more oppressed than hearing from the Underground Railroad. Like this nigga experienced the same shit she went through. Or that nigga hasn't ejaculated in a decade and his mind was playing tricks on him. He needed to skeet and he was scared to get a URI. You know what that is, a urinary tract infection. Them shits are painful. But I'm sure you see my 2 points. Either way, Joe released all of his animosity toward his co-host's actions over the years. But you can feel the things that he said was needed to be said. He had a therapy session and a podcast all in one. But the good thing about Joe kept it civilized. Although, I'm sure that nigga wanted to throw some shit across the room. But you gotta understand, Joe seems like that nigga that's just all about business. He don't understand true friendship. He can't put two of them together. It's either business or it's friendship. That's what it seems like. But niggas should have understood that when they joined that podcast. You should have known Joe was all about business. That's all the niggas speak upon. It's business. Numbers and business. Numbers and business. It's the business, man. Hopefully, Rory and Maul will see it like that. They can move on peacefully and create their own paths. Bud, Maul, and Rory, all y'all did was get that nigga DJ Akademiks. And I do want to apologize. It's just every time I think of your name, I think of a 9-volt battery. Alkaline Akademiks. I picture the Energizer Bunny doing a podcast, with the exception of the ears. But the similarity in names are not that far off. Give or take some consonants. But this nigga, by the way, has a huge ass following, respected in the game by many. The dude has mad clout. But no, he's not my cup of tea. I don't follow him, no subscriptions, anything like that. But I do get snippets from what he says from third-party outlets. And from what I be listening to, he's just too fucking annoying for me to listen to for long periods of time. No offense to him, but I just can't listen to a motherfucker whose dialogue is 90% screaming the whole time. Nigga, you gotta mix it up, man. You can still get a point across without yelling every fucking time. I need to hear some kind of versatility. A nigga sounding like he used to be bullied throughout junior high, high school, always had his nipples pinched, tossed in a dumpster, lunch money stolen on the regular. All the women thought he was too short and ugly, didn't get no pussy. That's how the nigga sounds to me. Now don't get me wrong, relax. I'm not saying that shit happened to DJ Akademiks. It's how he sounds. And no, I'm not speaking from experience. That you will never know. But niggas like DJ Akademiks are just insecure motherfuckers, in my opinion. Their outlet is belittling, defaming, and bashing niggas until they are no more in existence, figuratively. The more traumatized niggas like that from their past, the more wrath you'll get, which is very fucking scary. Because DJ Akademiks will haunt Maul and Rory as long as they're breathing. DJ Akademiks is making sure that when Maul and Rory go to sleep, they see his face. Niggas go to bed and shit counting sheep, hopping over the fences. DJ Akademiks' face is gonna be on them sheeps. But whether his name sounds like a battery or not, bullied in school or not, he's a force to be reckoned with. He's making niggas cry and sending him love letters without return addresses. That shit ain't easy. With that being said, I'm about to give y'all some serious secrets, if you don't know now. A very few know this, on how to deal with niggas like DJ Akademiks. Listen carefully. If you seen 8 Mile with Eminem, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Niggas like DJ Akademiks, you gotta come at them niggas with reverse psychology. Beat them motherfuckers at their own game. Admit your own insecurities, poke fun at yourself, beat them niggas to the punchline, like Eminem did at the end of the movie in 8 Mile. He rapped first, made fun of himself, talked about his insecurities. When his opponent was up, he didn't have shit to rap about. The shit he was gonna say about Eminem being trailer trash, broke, his family being dysfunctional, Eminem already let the crowd know and claimed it. Case closed. That's what y'all motherfuckers gotta do to DJ Akademiks. Make fun of yourself before they do. It's that simple. If DJ Akademiks was talking about me like that every single day, me, man, I have a field day with that shit. I'll drink that shit like gasoline. Fuel for my motherfucking fire. I just kill that nigga with comedy. Send him my own letter through FedEx and have that nigga sign it. Now, I'm not saying I don't listen to this nigga because he sucks. I'm just saying, to me, it's kind of annoying. I just don't like listening to somebody who's bullying somebody every day. It's kind of boring. But yo, DJ Akademiks, keep doing your shit. I sure ain't mad at you. But anyway, back to Joe. Hate him or not, he's a smart motherfucker. Shit is like chess to him. He's constantly checkmating niggas. Him and DJ Akademiks cool with one another. The whole time DJ Akademiks is feeling Rory, Joe's like, yo, that ain't got shit to do with me. DJ Akademiks and myself, we have sleepovers, contemplating our next move to take over the industry. Niggas. That was a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, especially Rory and Maul. Them niggas like, how are you gonna be friends with a nigga that is insulting your co-host on a daily basis? Now, from the outside looking in, it seems fucked up. But if you know the circumstances from the inside out, the history, the friendships, how one got to where they're at right now, strings that was pulled, etc., if you can answer those questions, you'll have a better understanding of Joe's and DJ Akademiks' relationship. If you don't have the answer, don't judge. I'm seeing a lot of motherfucking comments pissed off at Joe for no reason. You have no fucking clue on what goes on behind the scenes. And besides, Rory and Maul are adults and can stick up for themselves. Joe gave them motherfuckers plenty of opportunities, I'm assuming, to stick up for themselves on his platform. I've had plenty of friends where someone in the group didn't get along with one of my other friends. I didn't go up to that one friend and say, hey, well, since you got issues with that friend, I'm going to defriend 4 niggas because you don't like them. It don't work like that. What you do is you tell your homie, figure out what the beef is over, and resolve the shit in a civilized way. And if it don't work out, I'll party with y'all motherfuckers separately. Case closed. No way in hell will I cry to another grown-ass man and like, hey man, why you friends with the other dude, man? We supposed to be cool. We supposed to be your homies. I'd be like, yo, you sound like a little bitch right about now, nigga. So now you got Ish, whose name sounds like a motherfucking expletive, and Ice, for some reason, reminds me of Vanilla Ice. Doom 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 doo doom doom ch. Doom 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 doo doom doom ch. Ice, ice, baby. Anyway, just because I make light of a nigga's stage name doesn't mean I'm hating on him. It's the name, not the person. But anyway, they ended up being Maul and Rory's replacement for a brief stint. Until, as we all know now, the unresolvable issues was supposed to be settled between Joe, Maul, and Rory. They did a great-ass job. People got comfortable with Ish and Ice. The chemistry was off the chain. People believed in them. They spoke the truth. You want the truth, nigga? They spoke the truth. And then bam, like kicking a pack of Newport's cold turkey, the next week, them niggas was gone. Maul and Rory came back. Ish and Ice was in limbo. But Joe came through. Gave them what the fans wanted. A podcast show with them and Joe. Like that OnlyFans shit. Except it was only for Patreon. Niggas was gearing to go. Until the inevitable happened sooner than later. Which we all know now. Which is the firing of Rory. Maul, that shit is like open-ended. Nigga, you coming back or not? But obviously, Maul is done. So let's just say both the niggas is gone. Ish and Ice. Your time is now, Negroes. Don't let your newfound fan base down. The shit always happens. Before that big-ass contract, niggas be down to earth. The realest they can be. Once they sign that big-ass contract, they fall flat on their asses. Niggas come out flat, leaving the fans like, but we liked you before the contract. It happens all the time in sports. When the motherfucker signs that $300 million contract, a lot of times it attracts nothing but bad mojo. But I'm pulling for y'all. Joe is putting niggas to work. A blessing in itself. I'm not a fan of saying good luck because I don't think luck is needed, but I'm gonna say break a motherfucking leg. Do your thing. But if anybody's listening and you know Joe or his peoples, Spotify, Barstool, Complex, and tell him I will join that nigga for a Kobe steak dinner and some Japanese whiskey. That's all it takes. Regardless of money, comedy is what I do. I don't need a huge contract to speak on camera. This is my passion. I live by this shit. I live by the podcast. I die by the podcast. I live by the podcast. I die by the podcast. Every day. Not every day, but every day. And yes, I know. I'm saying this now. Things might change later. I might up it to 3 bottles of Japanese whiskey. So you might want to get at me while I'm cheap right now. My contact info, thegifted132@yahoo.com. TheGifted132, the number 32 at yahoo.com. Let's chat. But all in all the parties involved, or whom I mentioned, Joe, Maul, Rory, Ish, Ice, and DJ Akademiks. But from what I know, Rory and Maul both got the same lawyers, so they're going forward with legal proceedings. I hope everything works out. Shit is resolved. Yes. We got to update here. Yeah, Rory and Maul doing their own podcast. Rory and Maul is doing their own podcast. Joe Budden is doing IG Live with sunblockers. Yes, he's going over accounting. It's all about accounting. Accounting. They didn't see the accounting. Yes, Joe Budden live with sunblockers on. Live. As you all know now, Maul and Rory came out of their motherfucking shells. They came out to put the record straight, a cappella style. No, not referring to scratching or a remix. This shit was a one-hit wonder. Some telenovela for your ass. By now, I'm sure you know, niggas came out on a rebuttal podcast as if them niggas was coming out of the closet. Finally, they're gay. Not as in guy on guy gay. They're finally gay as in happy. Niggas was gayly. But they knew they was sitting on a gold mine worth of information. So why not charge motherfuckers $2 to see the show? I definitely ain't mad at them. Although you can obviously watch the shit for free. It's all about the support. You might ask yourself, what can you get for $2? Either a pair of bobos, or you can support a good cause. Anyway, it was a solid interview. I got to hear the other side. Basically, it all boiled down to profit sharing and wanting to see the numbers. The problem is, somebody is blatantly lying. If you believe Joe and not Maul and Rory, that means you think them two niggas conspired together, although both are giving corroborating statements, to concoct a story to defame Joe. If you believe Maul and Rory and not Joe, it's two guys cooperating about certain events pertaining to the issues that took place. But what you people need to understand, the burden of proof is on Joe. If he wants to prove they're lying, present the documents. It's plain and simple. If you don't do that, pretty much Maul and Rory should be exonerated. But I must admit, during that interview, them niggas seemed so relaxed. Maul didn't seem like he was counting sheep. He was geared up from head to toe. Rory looked like he didn't have the grudge over his shoulder. They looked good. But all I know is after the interview, you can feel the energy, how people are tidal waving to their side. All those who doubted them based off of Joe's accusations and firing them are now siding with them. Motherfuckers is crossing over. It was like a light switch. The fucking lights was off. It was dark as fuck. Show over. Niggas are buried. All of a sudden, the lights popped on out of nowhere. It's bright as fuck now. Niggas can now see clearly. But listen, whether you think Joe needs to be on the 4th floor or not, that nigga is where he's at for a reason. Not because he rode the short yellow bus, if you get what I'm saying. But I'm going to end it with this. The burden of proof is on Joe. The Black Ones Podcast on all platforms: iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, Podcast Junkie, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, etc., etc. Please share, subscribe, and download. Or you can follow me on thebblackones.org. God bless.